Opportunities exist everywhere. Money is just as illusory as happiness. It can be invoked in an instant through conditions, but you've got to take initiative. This place, if your heart and soul is in living here, then it doesn't cost the oversoul anything to make that a reality for you. If you truly understand that, then you could have a relationship with the oversoul, which is based on trust. But if you fear that there are conditions in your past that will preclude you from enjoying this in the future, then those conditions from the past will come back and haunt you, and they will prevent that future from unfolding. We write our own destinies all the time. And this is the problem that you're in right now. You need to make a decision. Don't think about possibilities. If you create for yourself two different futures, you're not going to be the master of either one. So you need to go ahead and build that mental image of what you want to experience in the future, and then you need to time travel through imagination to that future event where you still possess the things that you want. And when you look back into the past by virtue of imagination, you're thankful that everything came about so that you could afford that and keep it and enjoy it. This is the true method of the co-creator. Not to worry about conditions you can't change, but to be thankful that the oversoul has the power to change all conditions so you don't have to worry about them. We have to look at the divine mirror as something that reflects back as our future, the very things that we project. Because if you don't project that hope, you don't project that gratitude, you don't project that mental image of you possessing the thing that you want, then the simulacrum isn't going to reflect that back as circumstance. If you send mixed signals will be returned upon you. But they won't be received as signals because you're a broadcaster. What's going to happen is the external world around you will change for the worse because you sent mixed signals. And now you will see the things because the energy was focused on your house. Now your house may be taken from you. Energy was focused on a psychopathic ex-husband or whatever, then there may be some future complications with this individual you're not foreseeing right now because he's on your mind. If he's incarcerated, if he's locked up and you're still dwelling upon him, this can be a problem because it can introduce others that are on the same vibration and frequency as he is. This is a reactive medium and it's going to react to the frequencies that you broadcast. So you have to be careful when you say and accept things as true, such as, I have a psychopath husband. Please don't ever assume that he's stalking you. You understand? You cannot accept these as present conditions or they will continue that way. Remember, if the prayer of desperation admits a situation for what it is and thus continues it, then by that model, anything that we fear, we bring upon us. Fear is the opposite of trust. It shows there is no relationship. Therefore, you as being a immortal being able to create conditions are now creating the very negative conditions you fear. Yeah, it's that simple, guys. I know it doesn't feel simple when you're listening to it, but it truly is a super simple concept once you've wrapped your mind all the way around it. There's only two forces in this world, fear and trust. Trust is based off love. I've gone into other videos on love, but this is the neutral field of the simulacrum, which is an extension of the oversoul. It has to be neutral inside this construct for the simple fact as this is the property of the God of this world, which is a negative aspect and totally against the oversoul. So we have to play by its rules, but in playing by its rules, we have great power. Remember, as co-creators, create the fiction, move toward it, and the fiction will become fact. This is what you need to do with your house. This is what you need to do with your with your psychopath, whatever, what's the ex-husband?
Yeah.
Divorced, yeah. Yeah. One, if things are best left in the past, then move forward and leave it in the past. Because anything accepted as true today will be imprinted upon your reality as true tomorrow as well. You got to break that cycle. The chains of precedence can only be broken by you. Only be broken by you. But once you have separated yourself from the conditions of the past, there's nothing stopping you. Just because you can't see how you can afford that house doesn't mean the simulacrum can't make that happen. Yeah, our archaics would have never taken off the ground the way we have, with so many. We have a lot of things going on now. We have a lot of help too, but it would have never if I would have just been chained to the past, because I've got a dark past, and most people with my past have never moved forward in life. They can't. They just can't break free. So, yeah, that's what you gotta take in consideration. I want to finish your statement. Huge expense, a 6-year court case. Yeah, so money is one of those intangible things that really don't take on substance in this reality. It's simply a non-issue. Because when you imagine conditions for what you want, then whatever money is required to make that happen is naturally going to come. If you focus on the money itself, that's negative, because there's no mental picture here of what you're actually trying to accomplish. Imagining having more money would actually be antithetical to the acquiring of more money, because when you try to imagine stacks of money and gold and wealth and all these things, but it's not attached to concepts and experiences, then what you have here is a situation of an immortal being attaching significance to something that is abstract and investing this emotion, and this emotion is nothing but an admission that you don't have it. So the simulacrum automatically assumes as true that, man, you put a lot of emotion into having these stacks of money and all this gold, but what I tell you guys all the time, the prayer of desperation admits a situation for what it is and thus continues it. It's the same concept. There is no changes whatsoever. So you don't imagine having more money. You don't imagine winning the lottery. No, you imagine living a life of luxury. You imagine that Lamborghini. You imagine that infinity pool. You imagine giving all your friends and family all these extravagant gifts. You imagine that mansion on the hill. That's what you imagine, because in doing all that, the money is ancillary. Always is.